Hi everybody, Dorothy here, Professional Astrologer. You can find me at nhastrologer.com. So today I'm just going to really be super casual with this forecast. I have a lot of stuff written out. It is now posted on my website, so the forecast for the next 12 days, because I didn't really get a week forecast in for this week, but I'm going to start with what's left of this week right now. So how are you doing? I know it's Wednesday right now at this recording and the posting of this video, Wednesday the 26th. And, you know, the moon in the sign of Aries today, the first thing it did, super early in the morning, was make a square aspect to Mars in Capricorn. And right now I'm recording this late in the afternoon. And I mean, I have been straight out all day long just because I'm organizing a big astrology meeting for my local group on March 21st. Oh my God, I think I've fielded over 50 emails just today. While I'm just trying to get my business back up and running, I had about 10 days off because my dad passed away on February 16th, and it was a shock and a surprise. And so it's taken a few days to figure out how to get back into the groove, which I'm happy to be here because I love what I do and I love sharing information and what I can with you guys to make your life, flow a little bit more. So when we're looking at, so thank you for your sympathies and all of your kind words and your patience for me just to do what I need to do to, get back in alignment with the new normal. All right. So Wednesday, the 26th, which is today, the moon in Aries is always very energizing, and it really helps us to just constantly move. I mean, we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde in Pisces, so that creates a lot of confusion for some people, a heightened sense of emotion, and a lot of misunderstandings. But the moon in Aries making square aspects to all the planets in Capricorn today, Wednesday the 26th, through Thursday the 27th. What's going on with this is it helps us to feel very motivated. Now, how can a square make you feel motivated? Well, it can just it creates a lot of pressure, and it's just I really need to get this done and I really want to move forward. The square energies that we are experiencing from the moon in Aries is cardinal to the cardinal Capricorn energies, which means taking steps, taking action. And we are in the waning lunar phase. And so, nope, I'm not editing anything here. So you just erase that from your mind. We're in the waxing lunar phase. We only had a new moon just a little while ago, a couple of days back. And so the energies, the moon is getting bigger and brighter every single night. So that means energy is building. So overall, Wednesday, Thursday, and even, Wednesday and Thursday, 26, 27, today, tomorrow, just really focus on the things that you can take action on. Make your list. Don't get overwhelmed. Just do the first thing that's on the top of the list, and things might even have to shuffle. What's on the top of the list today, or even hour to hour, what's on top of the list. So when you're doing something, focus on it. Use as much of that Aries energy as possible. It's what's the most important thing for me to accomplish right now? And that's how we're going to feel throughout Wednesday and Thursday. And there's more details in the written forecast on my website. I really pull it apart and give you lots and lots of details. So go there and check it out. On Friday the 28th, the moon enters the sign of Taurus. Moon loves to be in the sign of Taurus, the sign of her exaltation, second favorite place for it. But whenever she's in Taurus, she's going to connect with Uranus right away. And she does that 9:50 a.m. East Coast time, moon conjunct Uranus on Friday morning the 28th. So what does that mean? That means we're motivated to step out of our comfort zone, Uranus, to create what it is we love and what we value. That's Taurus, moon in Taurus. So figure out, you'll have opportunities, especially if you've been sifting and sorting through making decisions and taking action in a lot of different places over the last couple of days, Wednesday and Thursday. You're certainly going to be happy that we have this earthy, grounded Taurus moon all over the weekend, because she doesn't enter Gemini until Sunday in the afternoon. So Friday and Saturday, And half of Sunday, the moon in Taurus is going to help us to feel very solid, very grounded. And if we're not feeling solid and grounded, it is we can really notice it, right? So it wants us to like pick things that help us to feel very solid and very grounded. I know that's general information because that's all that I can give you since I am not reading your personal chart. Now, let's go on to Sunday. I want to hit pause so I can read my notes. I'll be right back. It'll only be a second. See, only a second. Yes, the moon enters Gemini in the middle of the afternoon on Sunday, and it remains in Gemini all of Monday and, half of Sunday, all of Monday, all of Tuesday. This is March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So moon in Gemini is full of information. Whenever the moon is in Gemini, there is, there's a lot of communication, a lot of talking, a lot of information coming at us. It can be overwhelming sometimes with so much information. And here in the United States, March 3rd we call it Super Tuesday because there are many, many states here in the United States that are in their primary voting for the the people who are going to run for the president of the United States. And so it's called Super Tuesday because there's just so many states that vote. We get a really good feel for where the nation is heading, at least for individual parties, right, at this point in time. So when we have the moon in Gemini during this type of an event, while the ruler of Gemini is retrograde, Mercury, I can tell you that there is going to be overload, more overload than usual on a primary day like this. So figure out how you're going to be able to settle and stay calm. If you're a news junkie, it will be overwhelming for you. But if you like news, it could still be overwhelming for you. So we're going to need to take lots and lots of breaks on the days that the moon is in Gemini, and especially Tuesday, the 3rd, because of all of the voting. Now, simultaneously, we also have Mercury at the final degree of Pisces. Not the final degree, it's the opposite direction because he is moving back to Aquarius, and he moves into Aquarius on March 4th. So that means Mercury retrograde is at 0 Pisces. And when a planet is at 0, and when the planets are at 29 degrees, which it will be, 6 a.m. on Wednesday the 4th, that's all about the information we're receiving. So Mercury 0 Pisces, it could be very confusing for a lot of people. It may take a day or two for us to get the news about that voting and who really does look like they're a front runner in the primaries, right? Now, if that is not of interest to you, then you just look at, just reel it in. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I don't get overwhelmed by that type of information, but I can get overwhelmed by other kind of information. So your life and just look at it and just see, are you feeling a little overwhelmed or confused by too much information or not enough clarity? Mercury in Pisces. So we have an opportunity on the 4th, Wednesday the 4th, to really get more in alignment with what it is we feel we want to get in alignment with. This is Mercury, mind, thinking, thoughts, information. So how do you want to use that? Again, you'll have to decide. Is it at work? Are you needing to be more detail-oriented at work? Is your boss requiring more from you? Are you requiring more from your co-workers? How is all of that playing out? I mean, there's plenty of different scenarios that we can be using here. So make sure you take your time. Now, let's a little further on Wednesday. We have Venus, all day Wednesday, she's also been at the final degree of a sign. She's been at the final degree of Aries, and she gets to move into her own zodiac sign on Wednesday, and that's at 10:07 p.m. East Coast time. And so all day, Venus in Aries until 10:07 p.m., she is just feeling this sense of, I really need to hurry. Again, the final zodiac degree, the final degree of each zodiac sign tends to create a sense of urgency, like we really need to do something or we're missing something. And so sometimes we can act rashly or just without a lot of thinking and forethought. So pay attention to that on Wednesday. And then when she does move into the sign of Taurus, and she'll be in that sign almost 4 weeks, just under 4 weeks, March 4th in the sign of Taurus, 10:07 p.m. East Coast time, you know, we get to finally feel Venus in her own energy, because that is her own zodiac sign. She feels confident and comfortable. It might take a day or two to sort of change the clothes and just shift the vibration a little bit, but it's really wonderful energy, very earthy energy, very grounding energy. So take advantage of that. If you're in an area of the world here in the Northern Hemisphere, here in New England especially, I'm on the Seacoast, so we've had a super mild winter, very mild, because the snowstorms have all been inland and we haven't had any nor'easters, which are massively big snowmakers, right? We haven't had any of those in a couple of years, and this year neither. There's no snow outside, and I'm recording this on, what day is it? February 26th, and there's no snow outside, and it was 45 degrees, which is very warm, right? So spring is coming early. So when we have Venus and Taurus this early in the year, because it's a little different every year, you know, the sun is still in Pisces, very wintry, but Venus is in the spring sign, Taurus. So to me, it just explains, on some levels, the weather astrology, that we will have a very mild winter and a very early spring. So we can feel with that Venus in Taurus, we have that sense of earthiness and groundedness, and really being able to get outside and sort of get your hands in the soil or just get out in nature so you can feel very grounded, because a lot of people forget to reconnect with nature, especially in the winter time. So do what you can once we get that Venus in the sign of Taurus. You should do it all the time anyways. But so that's what we have going on there. So what else do I want to talk about? I'm going to hit pause again. Hold on. And don't forget, come to my website, nhastrologer.com, to read the forecast, because I have a lot of stuff written out. It's only like 1,200 words. It's not that long, but there's always additional information there, and additional information here. So let's get on to the weekend of, March 6th, 7th, and 8th. The moon will enter the sign of Leo at 4:27 in the morning on Friday, March 6th. And it's going to stay in that sign not all weekend, but all of Friday and all of Saturday, the moon in Leo. And that is how we can express our creativity, our play, our passion, our fun. So make sure you find a way to be nice and creative on March 6th and 7th. So that's Friday and Saturday. So get out there and play and discover what you're passionate about now and really express that. When we get to the final day of this forecast is Sunday the 8th, and the moon enters the sign of Virgo, 6:47 in the morning, East Coast time. And this is the sign that we're going to have a full moon in, and the full moon is going to be on Monday, March 9th. But I will talk about that in my next forecast. And Mercury is stationing to go direct on Monday the 9th, and I'll talk about that in the next forecast. So what are we going to do on Sunday the 8th? This is when daylight saving time begins. So we turn our clocks forward. I wish they would stop that. And it's an interesting Sunday because Moon in Virgo is about focusing in on those details and what's important for us to accomplish. But we also have the Sun conjunct Neptune. This happens once a year. So we may have a day where it is really an easy day to sit back and relax, get outside if you want. That Moon in Virgo is also earthy energy, very grounding, and focusing on those details to sift and sort through the details of what's going on. But with Mercury stationary, it feels like there's not a lot going on. Venus also makes a conjunction to Uranus on Sunday the 8th, which can really expand a lot of things, in our world. So I want you to, for Sunday especially, I want you to think about recognize that you can relax on that day. You can chill out, get lost in I was going to say football. Football's not around anymore. You can get lost in sports. You can get lost just being outside. Just get lost in the day and don't expect a lot out of it, because with Mercury stationary and we're coming to this full moon, the energy of that can really feel like there's a lot of pressure on us to do things, but we can't move. We can't do a lot because, again, when Mercury stations, which it is on the 8th and the 9th, it doesn't feel like very much is flowing, right? So take your time on this day. Whatever is flowing, go with that, and don't push against the tide. Don't paddle against the tide, and allow your world to be, comfortable and easy going. All right. All right, guys, thank you very much. Please share and comment. I always love to interact with you, and come to my website, nhastrologer.com. Thank you very much for all of your comments and sympathies, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.